Welcome to today's episode of the Joshua Lee Bryant podcast. I'm your host, Joshua Lee Bryant. If you've not yet done so, hit that subscribe button so you never ever miss another podcast episode. And I don't guess you've missed one yet because this is the very first episode. So I'm excited because this is the very first episode of the rest of my life as being a content creator, at least as far as podcasts go. I've been battling on and off for the past 2 years of exactly finding out how I'm going to create content and give it to you guys from the perspective of me as a business owner. I've learned a lot of valuable information and knowledge over the last 3 or 4 years being a marketing consultant, a small business consultant, a web developer, web designer, app developer, app designer, photographer, videographer. I've done a lot of things over the past 2 to 3 years. And where I directly work one-on-one with businesses, I get to dive deep inside of the minds of these business owners and find out what the common problems are right now, at least as far as the businesses I work with go. I wanted to have a way to share the knowledge that I've obtained with you guys because it is that knowledge that has made me successful to the point that I've made it right now. And I know as I keep growing and keep learning, I'm going to have this brain full of knowledge that could immensely help other people. But I know that when I start creating this type of content, I want it to be available to you guys in a certain way. And I want to create it in a certain way to where it is authentic, absolutely transparent, and not scammy. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. And I want to go ahead and say ahead of time, I'm not calling anyone's business practice scammy or how they create content scammy. But there are certain types of ways that people go about creating content that is a little scammy. And that's what I didn't want to do. And that's affiliate marketing. Because the nature of the content that I'm going to be creating and the knowledge that I'm going to be giving you guys, it's going to be based strongly on tutorials, help videos, review videos for apps and software. And how could I truly, from an unbiased perspective, without trying to push people to like the software, review software and say, by the way, there's an affiliate link in the description of this video. Make sure you click that link and subscribe with my link and you save some money and I make money. Because if I was promoting affiliate offers, I would try to purposely make sure that I sway that review in a way that most people are going to click that link and sign up with it. And it's going to be hard to convince a person like me otherwise if you are a content creator, because how are you going to say anything negative about something and then say, by the way, when you go to sign up for this software that's absolutely crap, use the link in my description so I can get a kickback. So I approached this going in already knowing that I did not want to do affiliate marketing because I knew I wouldn't be able to give my honest, unbiased opinion about software. I want to know when I approach a software tutorial or a software review, if it's garbage, I want to be like, look, they have this going for them, but the rest of this is garbage. So I knew affiliate marketing was off the table. Also, in the way that I create content, I about went the route of selling courses, like creating packages of my content based on what kind of content it was into lessons, into courses, and selling those courses individually. But then I also realized that not everyone can afford what I charge for something. And that's okay. But my main goal with this podcast, with all of the content I plan on creating for you in the future, is to help people that are even unfortunate enough to maybe not have money to go out and buy big things for their business or spend a lot of money on marketing. I'm trying to help everybody, not just people in a certain tax bracket. So I wanted to have the ability to give content away for free, but still have a way to make money. Because we have to survive. We have to pay bills. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. So I found through a buddy of mine, shout out Casey Moore, or Kickstand Casey, or Casey Cush, depending on how you know him. he had mentioned in a mastermind session we had last week, he said, man, Patreon's a good idea. And I was just like, yeah, Patreon's a good idea, but you should create content on courses, sell courses, do this, this, this. And then it hit me later that night. I was like, oh my God, I've never actually checked out Patreon. So I checked out Patreon and I realized that it gives you a platform to where you can create bonus content, bonus posts, bonus podcasts, whatever, and put it behind a paywall and say, hey, if you want to view this content or see it or watch it or download it or have access to it, subscribe to one of my tiers for a monthly fee. And I've got like one for $5, one for $10, one for $20, depending on what you want. And I was like, oh my God, this checks all the boxes for me when I thought about it, because my mentality on anything that I talk about grows from day to day. I'm a human, you're a human. Hey, we have that in common. So our opinion changes over time. Our knowledge grows over time. And as a result of that, we learn new tricks with their tools. And I want to be able to share those tricks with you as I learn them. So I knew that creating courses wasn't going to work because it's a static deal. Once it's uploaded, it's there, it's done, move on to the next one. And I'm like, no, I want to create content and be able to sell content too that gives me the ability to always be changing with the growing content. And I didn't want you guys to have to buy a course on something, me find out some extra new stuff about the same thing that was in that course, upload a second course and say, oh guys, if y'all took that first course, you definitely have to buy the second course, because I thought that would have just been crazy. Patreon has the ability for me to create content and upload it to that Patreon anytime, any day, and you all have access to all of it. And that to me is phenomenal. Thank you, Patreon, for that. So with that being said, I do have a link in the description of this video, in this podcast episode, to my Patreon. Feel free to check it out. If you think that being a part of my community is something you would like to do, go ahead and subscribe. Weekly content is uploaded there. So to get to the meat and bones of why this business model works in my mind is because I'm going to have bukus of free content uploaded to YouTube, to socials, to the podcast every single week. And I'm going to have deep tutorials on whatever those subjects are. And that will be absolutely free. And all I'm going to utilize my Patreon for is the super advanced topics or the super advanced marketing techniques or things that I would generally bundle up and sell in a course will be on my Patreon, available for members that have subscribed to that Patreon to see. Also, I'll have bonus content on there, like behind the scenes stuff, super intimate ways of me being able to connect with a more private community. And I think that's great. So this, of course, is the first episode of the podcast. I wanted to explain why I don't want any of my content to be based on affiliate marketing, because I don't want to be scammy. I want to tell the absolute truth about whatever software we're talking about, no holds bars, because how can you truly make an educated decision on whether a piece of software is something you should buy or not if someone is only telling you what's good about that software? It doesn't make sense. So I want to give you the facts about software and apps and websites, because you deserve that. If you're like me, we go to YouTube and Google to find out if something's good or not before we spend our hard-earned money on it. I want to be transparent to you to give you the actual information you're looking for, so you're not out there wasting money. Number two, I don't want people that are looking to learn and grow to have to buy courses over and over and over again just to obtain new knowledge. I want to be able to upload, I want to like download my brain to Patreon and give my brain to you, and you not have to keep buying courses. And three, we're going to have a good time. We're going to cover things that other content creators are afraid to cover. We're going to talk about topics that other content creators are afraid to talk about. And I am not afraid to do it. I am here to help you unbiasedly. I mean, at some point there is going to be bias, because It's based on anecdotal information. I'm one person using software. I'm like, man, this kicks. This is awesome. Well, that's anecdotal. So at some point it is biased, but my undivided, honest opinion, that is not, that's just going to be straight how I see it, man. It is what it is. But I appreciate your time. Thanks for checking this out. I don't know what the topic of the next episode is going to be when I create it, but I'm finishing up everything right now, and that's why this episode's kind of all over the place, because I'm still in the process of building out Patreon, still in the process of finishing my website. I'm still in the process of syndicating this podcast to every platform on planet Earth. So a lot of things are still up in the air, but by the next episode of this podcast, there's going to be a lot of stuff happening. So I'm really excited to see you then. Can't wait to talk to you. Thank you for your time. I hope everything goes well for you and your business and your journey, your life, your family, your everything. And I'll catch you next time.